Parak Dalet, chapter 4, Mishna Ches, Mishna 8. Okay, so Mishnah reads like this. Ha'omer, somebody who says, Ini oiver lefnei hateva b'tzvuin. I will not go before the ark, meaning I will not be the chazan, I will not be the shliach tzibur, I will not lead the davening, b'tzvuin, when I'm wearing colored clothing. That's what he says. I'm not going up to the Yaman, I'm not going to lead the services while I'm wearing colored clothing. Only if I'm wearing white. So we say, Af b'levanim lo yavar. We don't let him go up to the Yamid. We don't let him be the chazan, even if he's wearing white. Why is that? Because if this person, we're concerned that this person is adopting the Bartanura calls it an idol worship, a form of idol worship, meaning there are idol worshippers, or we'll call them heretics, that only prayed in white clothing. And if this person is saying, I'm not going to be the chazan when I'm wearing colored clothing, we're concerned about what's going on in this guy's head. We're concerned about what kind of a philosophy he's adopting. So therefore, lo yavar, we don't let him daven. You're not davening. I mean, you could daven it in your seat, but you're not going to be the one who's going to be the chazan. Besandal and yoiver, I'm not davening while I'm wearing sandals. Now, in a place where the common practice is to walk barefoot, you can daven barefoot. Okay, halachically, you can daven barefoot. If that's the way people walk around, you can daven that way. But this guy says, I'm only davening barefoot. I'm only going to be the chazan if I'm while I'm barefoot, not when I'm wearing my sandals. Af yochef layavar. Even barefooted, we're not going to let him daven. Because again, we are concerned that he's adopting this practice of which was, again, the Bartura calls it an idol worship practice. I think some people say it's not so much idol worship, but it's heretical. And therefore, when the person makes this comment, which could be that this is what he's adopting this kind of heretical practice, we don't let him be the chazan. We don't let him be the shliach tzibur. Okay, that's the first case of the Mishnah. That Mishnah brings another case. These are all cases of people who are kind of doing things differently, and because of what they're doing different, it's a question of how we have to look at this person. Ha'isa tfilasai agula. He made his tefillin round. They say to that one, instead of being square, he made them round, maybe oval, Okay, so the Mishnah says like this: sakana, it's dangerous. You know why it's dangerous? The reason why it's dangerous is because the tefillah might penetrate his head if it bumps into something such as a low doorway. He's got this oval-shaped thing on his head, right? If he bumps into something, it's going to penetrate into his head. Sakana, it's a danger. Ve'ein ba mitzvah, and there's no mitzvah. You're not going to fulfill the mitzvah of tefillah that way. Tefillah have to be square. Now this guy, right, is doing things differently. Now, why is he doing this? What's motivating him? Now, what's interesting is that on this part of the Mishnah, there's no comment. Is he acting heretical? There's no comment about it. It just says no mitzvah. There's no mitzvah. So this person is not adapting any kind of philosophy of, let's say, what's called the Tzedukim, the Sadducees, or the Karoyim, the Karaites, whichever word you want to use for them, whichever period of history. This is not what the Sadducees did when it came to tefillin. They had a different hang-up about tefillin, which we'll see. But round tefillin was not their thing. And therefore, for whatever reason this guy is doing it, he is not basically identifying with any kind of heretical group. And therefore, there's no comment about him in the Mishnah, at least from the point of heresy. But one thing is, there's no mitzvah, that's for sure. And secondly, he's endangering himself. Now, why did he do it? I don't know. I saw one explanation that perhaps he did it because he thought it's nicer. I don't know. In his mind, this was a nicer way. It was innovative. It was kind of different. He was trying to do something different. Okay, next. Nesana al mitzchay. He put his tefillin, his regular tefillin, square tefillin, bang on his forehead. Not here up by the hairline, but on his forehead. oya pas yadai, or his tefillin shel yad, which usually we're supposed to go on your biceps. You know where you put it? On his hand. Put it on his hand.
Where did he get these?
Where did it come from? So, harei zoi derech haminus. This is the way of heresy. But that means like this. We know that Tzedukim, the Sadducees, and the Karayim, the Karaites following afterwards, only believed in Torah Shabachsav. They only believed in the written law, and they took it literal. We have Torah Shabal Peh. We have the oral law that helps us understand, that gives us understanding of what the written law wants from us. So the Tzedukim, or the Karaites, which there still are, right? It says by Tefillin, Ukshartem lo'is al yodecha. You shall put them on your hand. So they put it on their hand. Oral law teaches us, the traditional oral law teaches us, no, your hand means the part of your arm, and it means this part of your arm. It also says, Vayula taitafais bein einecha. The taitafais, which is for the head, between your eyes. This is not between your eyes. I mean, it is to some degree, but between your eyes. That's what they did. So if this guy does it, right, then he's already identifying with a heretical group. It's not just some, flash mishigas that he has, some kind of craziness that he decided to adopt. He's identifying, he's following a group. And that we say, Harezu derech minas. This is the way of heresy. And the practical point of this, I believe, is, maybe we'll see a little bit further. I didn't see anybody saying this straight out, but the practical point would be is if you see somebody do that, you tell them off. You tell them you better stop. You have to tell them you better stop. Now here's another one. Okay, another bright idea. Tzipan Zav, he decided to cover his tefillin with gold. Right? Instead of his black tefillin, on top of his black tefillin, he coated it with gold. Isn't that it? Gold. He coated it with gold. Mm-hmm. That seems impressive, doesn't it? Seems kind of impressive. Okay. Unasawa base unkali shaloi. Or, this is regarding the tefillin shel yad. We know that we put our tefillin shel yad directly on our body. This guy put it on his sleeve. Why is he doing that? Now again, the guy doing it with gold, why is he doing it? He thinks it's nice. Thinks it's nice. Okay? The person putting it on his sleeve, right? We're supposed to have it on our arm, covered over, right? Now, he says, no, I'm not going to cover my tefillin. I'm going to wear it out. I'm going to wear it out for everybody to see, right? And actually, we have a concept, right? The tefillin is an oath. It's a sign. So he decides, I'm going to show it to everybody. So what do we say about, both these people are wrong, halachically, they're wrong. Because your tefillin the tefillin themselves have to be, have to be able to be seen as they are. And your tefillin has to be on your arm. And when it says, be for you as a sign. It's your sign, not somebody else's sign. At least for the tefillin shel yad. So the guy who does this, what do we say about him? We say like this: Harei zoi derech hachitzonim. This is the way of the outsiders. Outsiders mean this is a way of people who follow their own judgments. Meaning, instead of following the judgments and the teachings of the sages, they do their own thing. They do their own thing. So the Mishnah seems to be saying is that a guy who does that, he's not a min. He's not a heretic. He's not a heretic. It's not like the Tzedukim went ahead and did this. He's not a heretic. And even though he is misrepresenting what the Torah says, if he's according to the way some explain, if he's doing it because he thinks it's the better way of doing it, like tefillin should be gold. Isn't that very honorable? It should be gold. I'm showing everybody my tefillin. What do I have to hide it for? Huh? I'm showing my tefillin to everybody. All right, he's off. Right, he's on the outside. He's on the outside of what the sages taught us, which is what we follow, which is what we're supposed to follow. And clearly, he's doing his own thing and not listening to the sages. Nonetheless, so we call him a chitzain. He's on the outside. He's not an apikaris. He's not a heretic, but he's on the outside.
And he's not observant.
He's not doing the mitzvah properly. But the fact that he's doing it in itself, and the fact that he's kind of going against what the sages interpreted in the Torah, in this case, won't necessarily give him the category of a heretic, because since his intention, according to the way some explain, since his intention is he means to do well. He means to do well, right? He's trying to beautify the tefillin. He's trying to show his tefillin to everyone. He wants it to be out there in the open for everyone to see. Therefore, he's not a heretic. If he would be doing this because, so to speak, philosophically he holds that this is the way to do it, and forget about what the sages say, then already, according to then already would seem, at least according to some of the commentaries, he'd be a heretic for doing that. Have a wonderful day and a good tevach.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay.
So
We